everyone, welcome to the community classroom. This is Dr. Tracey McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be responding to a request/demand from an individual identifying himself as an elder of the Catawba Indians. There has been a demand/request that, again, research outside of Dane Calloway be considered in the community classroom. So we are going to do that. We're going to turn our attention to a researcher named LexWill, and we're going to be looking at just one point of the research that was recently done, and it was on the roots of the name of Brazil. And so there's an assertion or a belief that the name Brazil somehow traces back to an ancient biblical name. So we're going to look at this ancient name identified to see if there's actually any correlation to the current country name of Brazil in South America. And as always, if this video appears on anything other than Dr. Tracey McCarthy, it is stolen and unauthorized. Let's get started. Now, the ancient name that the individual believes is related to Brazil, or sort of the ancestor of Brazil, is this name Barzillai. Now, this came from what's known as an anagram dynamic. And so the individual apparently was transposing the letters of one word, Barzillai, and creating another word, which would be Brazil. And so some individuals are able to do this. It's what happens when you see word scrambles or those sort of scramble word games. And as you can see here, this is again a biblical name, and this name means man of iron. And so you can see that it also is derived from Brazil. And so, of course, when you look at that, you can see how Brazil might also sound like Brazil. And it's also noted that this is the name for 3 Israelites. And in looking at this root, you can see that it also translates to iron. And down below, you can see it's related to axe, axe head, chains, iron, and irons. And here is additional discussion related to this name. It goes down to Barzillai, meaning my iron. And this was a leader who helped David defeat Absalom, and so also noted as a priest, son-in-law to Barzillai, the Gileadite or Gileadi. And here you see another discussion related to this name, and so it takes a more esoteric turn here where it is described as man of iron, so a man of strength, and you see down below Barzil, iron-hearted. Further deconstruction of this name, Barzillai, indicates that it means iron and then that is strong. And a deconstruction of the baby name Brazil indicates that the name Brazil is of Celtic origin. The meaning of Brazil is brave, strong in conflict. It is also of Irish origin with essentially the same meaning. And so this is interesting that Brazil does seem to relate, the baby name Brazil does seem to relate to this name Barzillai in terms of meaning strong. And there's another interesting notation down below. You can see Barzillai seeming similar to the capital of Brazil. Now, moving away from this name as a baby name and a first name, we are going to look at the Brazil as a surname. And interestingly, this surname is extremely old. And so this name appears 1100 years before Columbus. And you can see the surname Brazil was found in Ireland. And you can see that this is an ancient family name in Ireland. You can see the spelling of this clan, which was Brassil, and again related to Hebrides. And this goes all the way back to this first appearance in this area of 327 AD. So again, this is a very ancient name and also with some Gaelic roots. And here is another clan with this name, with another spelling, with Bresail. And here is another ancient clan with that name. Research into this name took a very interesting turn. First of all, you can see the notation up at the top there. The name Brazil is a shortened form of Terra do Brasil, which means basically land of Brazil, which would translate to land of iron or land of strength. And you can see information down below related to this name. But what's interesting here is this is a map, and it includes an island known as Brazil. There was a belief that there was an imaginary island out there in the ocean named Brazil. And so the individuals in Ireland from ancient times believed that there was an island out in the ocean named Brazil. And so they believed that it was named for the descendants of this Brazil. And you can see off to the right a number of variations in terms of the spellings of this name. So you see High Brazil, I Brazil. And so you can also see this island of Brazil in the middle of the ocean there. So they actually believe that there was already a place over 1,000 years ago named Brazil, that there was an island to the west of them. And so you can see this interesting notation down below where it says expeditions left Bristol in 1480 and 1481, Bristol of all places, to search for this mysterious island. And then you can see that this is significantly earlier than Columbus finding, the Americas. And so some people prior to Columbus believed they actually found Brazil, which is what they were looking for. And here's another ancient map indicating Brazil, and you can see it in the middle there. So again, this was considered a part of their imagination that a place named Brazil was actually in the Atlantic Ocean, and you can see the indication of it there. And another interesting turn relates to this discussion related to the origins of the name Brazil. And so there is a belief that the name Brazil still to this day has mysterious origins. However, there is an indication that there is an ancient Irish legend that proclaimed that there was a phantom island out in the North Atlantic, and they believe that it was cloaked in mist. And as you can see, the island was named Brazil or High Brazil among a number of other names. And this discussion on Brazil culture and the origins of this name involve, you can go down a little further there, and you can see that High Brazil translates from its Celtic origins to mean breast. And then the island would have been called Blessed Land in English. Now, to return to the less esoteric meaning of this name, we have iron, and one of the important notations is that iron is mentioned with brass as the earliest of known metals. And in researching to see if there's any connection between Brazil and actual iron, what we find is that Brazil is the host of 5 of the world's largest iron ore mines. And this seems to support the idea that this is the land of iron. And you can see here that Brazil holds a massive amount of iron, and it shows that the world's biggest iron ore mine holds 7.27 billion tons of iron. This was definitely an unusual correlation to find. Individuals who are skilled at anagrams, however, might be able to find these sorts of correlations with these types of names. It's very interesting that there is this ancient connection related to the roots of Brazil. What's even more interesting, however, is this idea that they went in search of this actual island, and so they went in search of the place known as Brazil and apparently found it. Remember, knowledge is power. Take care and see you soon.